We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves. We making major moves. We going all in. Like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves.
What is up, everybody? I'm Mr. Man. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about, I guess straight up XRP Ledger, AUDD, which is Australian Digital Dollar, which was formerly known as AUDC, H-Bar Foundation, Stellar Labs, and also, just briefly, where is this thing? Right here. The trust that is now set up from Grayscale, a Grayscale XRP. There we go. We are proud to announce a Grayscale XRP trust. XRP is making moves. Major moves. And that's not just the theme of my song. The song to the theme of, whatever. So here we go. Big news. AUDD is launching on the Hedera network in partnership with H-Bar Foundation. With Hedera's high-speed, low-cost, and energy-efficient platform, AUDD is set to revolutionize digital payments. Boom. That's just today. Or yesterday. 16 hours ago, Australia time. That's today for our day. So, where does that take us now? Where does that take us? Let's just see where that goes. So here we are. Going back now, June 9th, 2022, Novati to issue Australian dollar-backed stablecoin AUDC on XRP Ledger with partnership support from Ripple. Now, what is the AUDC and what is the AUDD? How does it differ? Let us jump right into that. So here we are on the AUDD website. Here's the logo. AUDD was originally announced as AUDC. What happened? The renaming was the result of a trademark filing complication. AUDC already registered AUDD alongside AUDC. So it's still technically the same company, just a different name. So AUDC is AUDD. So when I go back and read you that info now, we're talking about the AUDD. Even though it says AUDC, because they are one and the same. Novati's new stablecoin AUDD to provide a digital representation of the Australian digital dollar. AUDD to be issued on the open source, permission-free, decentralized XRP Ledger. Ripple will provide Novati with the technical support and tools necessary to integrate AUDD with the XRP-L. AUDD will create even more ways for clients to pay and be paid through Novati. Availability on the XRP Ledger increases AUDD's utility and creates the potential for new revenue streams for Novati. That's a bit of Novati group there. So the AUDD will be issued on the XRP Ledger, an open source, public and decentralized blockchain transactions on the XRP Ledger are both fast, 3 seconds per transactions, and low cost. This new stablecoin marks a further strengthening of Novati's success with using the XRP Ledger's native digital asset XRP for cross-border transactions. In April 2021, Novati also tapped Ripple's on-demand liquidity ODL service through RippleNet, which also leverages XRP for remittances between Australia and the Philippines. So if they're using RippleNet, that means the Philippines are using RippleNet as well. AUDD creates the potential for new revenue streams for Novati, including conversion, transaction, and merchant fees, subject to product demand. The potential will only be increased by making AUDD available across multiple networks in a similar way to merchants, increasing the potential for successful sales by accepting multiple payment methods. Multiple payment methods. What did we just see there? They are now on multi-chain here. They are on Hedera as well. Stellar, Ripple, Ethereum based, H-Bar, Hedera. Look at that. Look at that. How fantastic is that? Moving on. This is a message put out from Novati now. So forward, we write on behalf of Novati Group the parent company of the issuer of AUDD, so this is a bit later on now, an Australian digital dollar stablecoin that maintains a one-to-one backing with Australian dollars. Our objective has always been to provide a safe, secure, and compliant stablecoin that retains its value through adequate backing. Since our inception, we have endeavored to remain versatile in an ever-evolving market. AUDD was launched on the Stellar blockchain November 1st, 2022. Expanded to the XRP ledger in June 2023. And we anticipate launching an Ethereum in the first quarter of the forthcoming financial year. Right? So it's coming this quarter. This quarter 4. Coming in the first quarter of the forthcoming, or is that last year financial? Yeah, maybe last year. So this should already be on Ethereum. And now what is Ripple doing? They've charged or asked, or not, but Persist is coming up with a ledger. Jesus, I can't even think right now. A sidechain, an Ethereum virtual machine sidechain, which connects to the XRP ledger and goes to Ethereum. Right, there's a few of them that do that too. There's some for Stellar as well. They're known as Allbridge, and there is Spacewalk as well. Spacewalk is specifically from Stellar to the Polkadot ledger, I believe it is. Polkadot and Kusama. So our vision is to maintain a blockchain agnostic solution, and we have plans to accommodate additional blockchain protocols on our ongoing quest for innovation. So look out for other initiatives such as Algorand, right? You might see some Algorand, you might see some Cello, you might see some, I don't know what else. You might see some different payment platforms that are doing this, right? Other payment platforms where you might see this digital dollar show up. Our recommendations in this submissions are informed by a wealth of experience, not only from the development and launch of our stablecoin, but also as a result of our 25-year tenure as a fintech company within the Australian market. Consequently, the insights shared herein are derived from our unique perspective as an issuer. While we focus on the operational aspects of the AUDD within our control, we respectively defer to industry participants regarding the management of our stablecoin beyond our environment. Okay? So check this out now. This here is the CEO of Novati Group. And this is the announcement, the official press release announcement of him talking about partnering with Ripple and Stellar to utilize the Stellar Consensus protocol, and the XRP ledger. Listen to this.
Into finance news, I'm Melissa Darmwan. Joining us again is the Chief Executive Officer of Novati Group, Peter Cook. Peter, nice to see you.
Mel, hello. Great to be back. Thank you.
Always lovely to have you here. Now, Novati has recently announced 2 deals around your stablecoin services. Talk us through it.
We've been able to announce partnerships with both Stellar and Ripple, 2 of the major cross-border blockchain networks, both based out of Silicon Valley and both with very high market capitalizations relatively. Ripple we've done a lot of work with in the past for cross-border payments, and Stellar we had started on a blockchain program with them a number of years ago, but now we're really bringing it to life. So we're building a multi-chain stablecoin service, initially on both the Ripple and Stellar chains. And in fact, what's a great thing is both Ripple and Stellar are largely funding the development work and even some of the marketing work that we do to get our stablecoin service out. So the stablecoin will be dollar for dollar backed Australian dollar stablecoin. So we are a licensed company. We'll be running our funds in trust accounts, and then we've got an Australian dollar stablecoin named AUDC. Somewhat in line with the nomenclature of the US stablecoin USDC.
I know, I think a couple of weeks ago, we were just talking about the role of digital assets with Novati. Can you loop that in regards to the strategy now?
So stablecoin for us is essentially a major foray into digital assets. We are still a payments company, a traditional payments company, but this now gives us a major entree between, let's call it, cryptocurrency, which goes up and down and is subject to other market forces, and real utilitarian crypto-based assets. So we build the stablecoin, it becomes part of our ecosystem or our infrastructure, which is licenses, tech, commercial partnerships, and from there we leverage and monetize for our either financial services customers or end business type customers. We will provide services out as stablecoin as a service, and also for holding and transacting of funds for things such as cross-border payments, on-ramp, off-ramp for cryptocurrencies, and other services yet to be seen. In terms of partnering with Ripple and Stellar, I mean, they are two of the major networks. We've been able to work with them and be a major partner of theirs in Australia. And I think that goes to a lot of the success of Novarti is that we can work with these global companies and bring through significant commercial deals.
So how do you see this impact on your revenues?
Melissa, for the next year, at the least, we'll have revenues will be a number of the payments from Ripple and Stellar for their grant programs that ameliorate our tech build costs and some of our marketing costs. As we start to monetize later this year, then we'll start to get transaction fees from the stablecoin service as well.
Let's talk about your results. So I know you also recently announced some quarterly results. Talk us through the highlights.
The March quarterly results, our revenue is about 10.4 million. On a like-for-like basis with our December results, we'd gone from 6.3 million to 6.8, and then the increase from 6.8 to 10.4 was the Malaysian company ATX starting to come into our accounts. Against a prior calendar period for Novarti itself, we were up about 60% quarter on quarter for the prior calendar period, and then with ATX coming in, we're now over $10 million a quarter. So, really great growth results. So we're bringing in stablecoin services. It adds to the other services that we're providing. We've been growing the company at about 50% per annum. If we continue to do that for the next 12 months, our aim is to get to cash flow positive last quarter of financial year 23 and really show the market that we will be a profitable major global payments company.
Exciting times ahead. Peter Cook, great to see you back in Sydney again.
Thanks, Melissa.
So we just heard from the CEO of Novarti talking about the partnership with Ripple and with Stellar, and we know they're all in cahoots like this, like a glove. So this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, so just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. But this is what's up. How is the RBA involved in all this now? How does the RBA get their CBDC out now when this group Novarti is trying to get their stablecoin out? How? Do you guys remember me telling you something about a CBDC-backed stablecoin? Private money always goes first, stablecoins come out. So there's a thing known as a CBDC-backed stablecoin. Right? It's like a wrapping. I've been talking about this for some time. Go back to my old videos and you will see what I'm talking about. The stablecoin is wrapped. Like how you get wrapped ETH, you get wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped whatever this, wrap that, wrap that, wrap. Not that wrap, but you gotta wrap something, alright? You got something gotta be wrapped, not even for Christmas. So how does that mechanism work? How does it look? What is it? I'll let her say what she has to say, and then I'll say what I gotta say, right? And then we'll all be square at this point. Let's hear what she has to say. Now let her introduce herself, alright? So you see who she is, and she's not just some random. Alright, you can also see right here, it says MJ from Nobody. But listen to this. This is how the pilot went down, and this is the structure or architecture they used for that pilot.
AUDD, the new way to use your Aussie dollars. Hi everyone and welcome to Ainsley Insights, brought to you by Ainsley Bullion, Ainsley Crypto and the Gold and Silver Standard, as the Ainsley Group celebrates 50 years. Today we welcome a very special guest for our first appearance on the show, MJ. MJ is the head of blockchain and digital assets for Novarti, the group behind the very interesting and successful AUDD stablecoin that is a new way to interact with your Aussie dollars. So how are you going today, MJ?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me, Chris. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on. Now, we've at Ainsley had quite a bit of late to do with this AUDD token or stablecoin in relation to our crypto business. So it's certainly one that we've had people asking questions about, and it's great to have you on to be able to maybe just talk about it. But before we dig into the nuts and bolts of how all that works, I'd just love to give everyone a bit of a background on your experience, because you're a very interesting character in the crypto space. You've been here since the dawn of crypto, as far as I can remember. You've had quite a journey. So can you maybe give us a little bit of your background that you're happy to share, and how that's led to your involvement with the creation of where we are today with this AUDD token at Novati?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, a bit of a legend in my own lunchtime, as I like to say. But no, I've been involved in the Bitcoin/crypto industry since 2013. So I'm going on 11 years this year. And so I had my humble beginnings actually starting my own Bitcoin brokerage firm. So back in the day, Bitcoin used to be traded through what's called peer-to-peer sites or networks. So think of it as an eBay, except people are buying and selling Bitcoin. So obviously, being a part of that very early adoption phase and introducing Bitcoin to people, banking relationships were quite a struggle back then. So as of course they are now. So when I initially started the business, I would go and open up a bank account. People would pay money into it, as you would any normal business, purchase Bitcoin from me. And a couple of months later, I'd get a letter from the bank to say, we've shut down your bank account. We're not going to tell you why. You've got a lifetime ban from this institution. Thanks. Have a nice day, but go find a relationship somewhere else. So, I mean, that would probably be, a bit sad and unfortunate if it happened 1 to 2 times. But like I said, I've been in this industry for 11 years and obviously running a business or a Bitcoin brokerage system that entire time. And so that ban amount eventually amounted to 98 bank bans.
Wow, that's that number.
So now that we know who she is, let's learn about this architecture for this stable coin that Novati is bringing up, creating and architecturing here. And who and how they are creating this, I guess, the architecture, as I just stated. Check it out.
Part of our use case for our pilot program was to have a CBDC-backed stablecoin. And so what that essentially provided was, instead of holding funds, within private banking, which, there's obviously, it has its own, systematic and centralization risks, you sort of go that one up of, you're essentially backed by the Reserve Bank of Australia itself. And so while, we would sort of manage that risk of, that centralization component of the token itself, the stable coin that's issued from that CBDC being held still can act in a centralized manner. It can still act on public blockchains, in the way that, tokens were fundamentally meant to function.
So, now that we know that, a CBDC-backed stablecoin, she said, is the architecture. Here we are, the BIS Innovation Hub. Project Orem, a prototype for 2-tier central bank digital currency in October 2022. Okay? So, just going back. Hold on a second, let me pull this up. So, we already know that Novati is working with Stellar Ripple, XRP Ledger. There's the Australian CBDC pilot that they're talking about here. Digital Financial Innovation. This is from August 2023, just last year. Literally just last year. And we want to go to the pilot setup. So here we go. It was not an objective of the project to evaluate the technology best suited to operating a CBDC. The technology design of the pilot CBDC platform was therefore not a key focus of the project. So they weren't focused on the CBDC platform itself. Nonetheless, certain technology choices needed to be made in order to stand up the platform. The pilot CBDC platform was deployed as a private permissioned DLT platform based on Ethereum, the Quorum. We already know that they're making this digital dollar interoperable on this Stellar Ledger, on the Ripple Ledger, Ethereum. It's now on Hedera. The platform was designed to support the issuance and transactional operations of the pilot CBDC, with industry participants able to interact with the platform via applications programmable interface, so the APIs. The choice of technology to implement the pilot CBDC platform did not reflect a view that any future CBDC, should one be issued, would be DLT based, or that Ethereum would necessarily be an appropriate choice for the production system. Rather, it was chosen on the basis that it provided a customizable and open standard platform based on technology. I keep telling you guys, ERC was the standard, is technically the standard right now for how blockchains need to be, what they need to allow. It will not further be the standard, but it will be a standard in terms of what it offered in the very beginning of blockchain after Bitcoin. Bitcoin was a standalone ledger, and that was it, and offered peer-to-peer buying, selling of Bitcoin. Ethereum then one-upped it and offered smart contracts, right? You could build dApps on it, you could tokenize, you can do things on it, and not just Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network. So it was chosen on the basis that it provided a customizable and open standard platform based on technology that is well understood and widely used for the digital asset innovation. Okay, so let's go back to here. The two-tiered this is a write-up from the BIS, a project that will be good for different banks, whoever chooses to follow this architecture. And there's different strategies or architectures within these frameworks, within these walls and confines that this innovation hub has created. And what I want to do is go right to the introduction and give you an understanding on what this CBDC is about. This two-tiered CBDC. Two-tiered means from the central bank connecting down to the commercial banks, issuance down to us. Two tiers, 1, 2. 1, 2, Reserve Bank and the other banks in Australia. In the era of digitalization, central banks stand before a choice. Does retail central bank money need to go digital, and if so, how? Jointly embarking on the challenge to design a full stack CBDC system, the BIS Innovation Hub, Hong Kong Center, and the HKMA dubbed the project Aurum, the Latin word for gold, reflecting our starting premise that digital currency issued under the auspices of a central bank must be as robust and trustworthy as gold. So we're to believe now, or we're made to believe, that this AUDD is as trustworthy as gold. Why is that the auspiciousness or auspicion that we should be, or guys we should be allowing into our framework now, our frame of reference, through the creation of a technology stack comprised of a wholesale interbank system, in which the wholesale CBDC goes through the RTGS system, which I explained to you guys before, is issued to banks for onward distribution to retail users. And 2, a retail e-wallet system in which the retail CBDC circulates amongst retail users. You and I are the world. We set a goal to bring to life 2 very different types of retail tokens. Intermediated CBDC, also referred to herein as CBDC tokens, and a CBDC backed stablecoin. Do you recall hearing that? That's what this woman was talking about. So this stablecoin, private issuance by Novati on the XRP ledger, and Stellar, and Hedera, and Ethereum, has the backing of CBDCs, of central bank money held in a central bank reserve. That's where we are at with Australia. Ripple, Stellar, Hedera, Ethereum have taken over Australia. That is where we are at. Let us see how much Australia actually brings in. Let us see the potential market cap of what Ripple could be playing in now. In 2022 alone, Australia had brought in $1.693 trillion. Trillion with a T. So as of 2022, the global GDP amounted to over 100 trillion US dollars. So if we're just looking, if we're taking away Canada, which we know Ripple's there, if we're taking away the US, which we know Ripple's there, if we're taking away China, which we know Ripple's there, Russia, which we know Ripple's there, right to the BRICS, which we know Ripple's there, if we're taking that away and just going on Australia alone, what exactly does Ripple stand to make? Well, I guess if we're doing easy math, and the globe had over 100 trillion, easy round number, and Australia was 1.693 trillion, that's exactly what they stand to make, 1.69%. That's good, man. That is awesome. That is awesome. It's awesome. But again, there was other names that I had riddled off because I know Ripple's partnered with, and if they're copying the same two-tiered system, we know that they're automatically in there with the central banks because the central bank is wrapping that stable coin. That's what that is. I don't want to keep this long. I hope you guys found value in this one. I'll see you on the next one.
We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.